De l'autre côté, Climat, Aldis qui a un tir. Quel arrêt de Moody! Autre arrêt! Attention, la rondelle est libre dans l'enclave. Et c'est Galipo qui s'en empare. On va remettre vers Coca. Tir, quel arrêt de Moody! Avec la mitaine, vient de sauver le match. Wow! Quel arrêt, Daniel Moody!
All right, so everybody, welcome to this episode. We have an awesome guest with us today. His name's Daniel Moody. He's a QMJHL goaltender. He's been playing in the league for a few years. Before that, he played in Miramichi for Bantam AAA and Midget AAA. And way before that, he played for our spring hockey programs for the Stars and the Vipers. So we're really honored to have him here with us. And I guess, Daniel, thanks for joining the show.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Happy to be here.
So first off, how are you keeping busy, I guess, during this whole shutdown? I mean, the season was finished a bit early. How's it been the last month or two here?
Yeah, it's definitely a lot different. Just trying to keep busy is the biggest thing. I've been working on a lot of doing my online schooling. It's good for on that end. I have a lot of time to finish that up, and obviously I've been just going for runs, a lot of jogs, stuff like that. Trying to do as much as I can with my home gym now that we can't go to the actual gym and stuff like that. So, just trying to find ways to stay busy and to try to keep things as normal as possible. And, just hopefully this will all be over sooner than later.
And we were talking a little bit off the air about the crazy year you had up to this point. I mean, could you just tell everybody at home, you got traded, you got mono. I mean, in terms of having a challenging year, I mean, this has got to be up there. Could you just maybe tell the folks at home kind of what your year's been like?
Yeah, for sure. No, I started in Chicoutimi, Quebec with the Saguenayens. I was going into my second season with them, and at Christmas time, I ended up getting traded to the Baie-Comeau Drakkar, and those are two teams that are pretty far away from home. It kind of came as a surprise to me at the time, but it was a really good opportunity for me and really good experience there. And then about halfway through the second half in February, I ended up getting really sick with mono and was forced to come home. So that was pretty tough, but at the same time, I got my rest and took about a good month and a half to really get better. But feeling a lot better now, and unfortunately with everything that's happened, I think we're all home now, so it doesn't mean much in the end. So.
Yeah, and speaking about kind of growing up and stuff, you're actually from Blackville, New Brunswick, the small town of Blackville. Can you just talk about maybe your experience growing up, playing hockey, growing up in minor hockey there, sort of what it was like for you?
Yeah, for sure. No, it's from a really, really small town. It's about 900 people. We've got a gas station and a school. So, obviously growing up, a lot of my friends are my close neighbors, stuff like that. So played a lot of hockey, a lot of road hockey, and we have an outdoor rink here too. So we spent a lot of time on that. The closest rink to me here is about 10 minutes away. It's in Renews. So I played my minor hockey in Renews. And when I was in about probably my second year of Adam, we decided to play the spring hockey in Moncton with the Stars and the Vipers. And I think that really broadened my horizon of, getting out of my small hometown and, playing a higher level of hockey. And, it was really, really good for me. And, but no, growing up in a small town, it's definitely really fun to come back. And especially in Renews, they actually won Craft Hockeyville. So this was last year. So it's really fun to come back and see how the rink looks now, and then brings back a lot of memories.
Yeah, and that's got to be a proud moment for you, coming from such a small town to win such a cool achievement. And I'm just curious, you talked about, obviously moving to spring hockey and kind of moving up the ranks, I guess, in terms of your hockey career. I mean, can you talk about maybe the role your family, your parents had on that, and sort of, how they kind of supported your development as a player, as a goalie, I should say?
Oh, well, they were probably the biggest asset to my entire career, and I can't thank them enough for the dedication they've always had for me. And like I said, when I was in Adam, started going to Moncton for spring hockey, and then in the summer camps with AGA as well. So they were the ones that were always getting up at 6 a.m. too, and then making those long drives. It's a good 2-hour drive. So, we were doing that on a daily basis, and they've always supported me from day one, and anything I've ever needed, they've always had it for me. So they're definitely like, I can't thank them enough. So.
Yeah, and like going, playing like kind of when you're younger and stuff, like did you make a lot of friendships with players that maybe in the QMJHL you might have played alongside or against? Like, is it kind of cool to kind of see, kind of grow up through the ranks like that?
Yeah, for sure. No, like I remember it was my first year of spring hockey, and we were playing Noah Dobson. So now he's in the NHL. So it's pretty cool the way a lot of guys develop over the years, and even as an athlete, the spring programs were great for my development as an athlete, but even as a person too, I still have friends who I still talk to today that I've played with back in Pee Wee and Bantam. So my parents as well, they're really good friends with a lot of families. So, it's been really cool that way too, to meet people all over the province, all over the country, and to still be in contact with them.
Yeah, and you talked about being like a good person, and I think you really exemplify that really well, because not only are you a great hockey goaltender on the ice, but you're a really good student as well. I know you've done really well in school. You have really high grades. For the kids listening out there, could you maybe just kind of share like the importance of that for you and why that's such a big part of who you are, not only as a hockey player, but as a person?
Yeah, I think, I think you always have to put school ahead of hockey growing up. If the grades aren't there, then you have to focus on that before you focus on your on-ice performance. That was always my mindset growing up, and my parents as well. They ensured that I was always high in school and that I did my work. And especially, as I transferred from minor hockey into major midget and then into major junior, my first year of major junior was I did high school online, and that was new for me. So I had to get adjusted there, and then I think you have to really prepare yourself from a school standpoint and as an athlete to adjust to new things and to get out of your comfort zone and be able to multitask. So, and obviously, like, hockey has to end at some point too. So putting your school ahead of everything is just giving yourself a head start in life. So, yeah, it's definitely a big, big thing.
And do you find like that's a strength in terms of even bringing that like that passion for education over to your skill set as a goaltender? Like, are you able to maybe pick things up quicker, or maybe look at maybe science or stuff like that to kind of bring that into your game at all?
Yeah, well, actually, I think the biggest thing for me is, especially as a goaltender, is the math part of it. Especially as you grow up, you kind of learn. If you do video of yourself on the ice, you learn different angles or how you can. A lot of goalies about it's about depth and how you can control that. There's a lot of angles involved, and I think reading is a big part of it too. The more you read, the more information you take in, and it can be very beneficial.
And your career, it's pretty awesome how you've gone on to play in the QMJHL and done really well. But you've also had some really unique challenges along the way. I know one that Dave Kennedy, your coach at AGA, has shared with me is that you have actually a lot of allergies, and that's been a huge part of your diet and that game preparation. Can you maybe talk about the unique challenge that presents for you?
Yeah, it's always been pretty special for me. I'm actually allergic to a few different types of nuts and eggs, especially. So growing up, I've been limited to the types of food I can eat, and especially it's been tough with moving into different billet families and going to different places and really watching what I eat to make sure I don't have anything that could be harmful. So yeah, I've always had to keep a watchful eye on that. And but you find ways. Like I said, you have to be able to adjust. You find ways, and especially as a hockey player, a lot of guys like to eat eggs, but there's also chicken and stuff out there too, and you find different things. So.
And as somebody that's kind of gone from playing those younger ages of minor hockey to really reaching the QMJHL, and you maybe look back on those years of growth, I mean, like, would you give any advice to goalies out there that might be in novice Adam going through kind of the same path as you, looking back?
Yeah, I think for sure, especially from New Brunswick, it's a small province, and especially in the major juniors level. We haven't had many goaltenders from the Maritimes play. It's usually it's a Quebec-based league on the goaltending part. So I think myself, just growing up, always doing the extra, putting the time in, and my coach Dave, he always makes us think about what our why is, And what he talks about is we're not just thinking about what we're doing, but we're thinking about why we're doing it. So that's always been a big thing for me. So anytime after a practice or if the ice is available, just always staying on, working on drills, working on lag drills, stuff like that. And over time you get better and better. And I think as a young kid, the faster you start doing that, the faster you'll get better. So that's my advice.
And Dan, we're going to go through a bit of a speed round here. We got some fun questions for you, so I'm interested to get your answers on this. Okay, yep. Number one, do you have any pets?
Yeah, I've got a dog. Her name's Sunday, Black Lab.
Right on. Okay, if you could go on the ice today, what drill would you be doing?
For me, actually, haven't been on the ice in about 2 months, so I'd definitely be doing a skating drill, a good warm-up skating drill. I know Dave Kennedy has a lot of drills out there, so he would definitely set me up with a good one, a skating drill.
And coming from Blackville, I'm gonna guess I know the answer to this question, but what is the coldest rink you've ever played in?
That's a tough one. I would say playing minor hockey in Rogersville has been that's an ice box.
Let's see. So best arena that you've played in that maybe gave you chills or was really cool for you to play in?
I think playing in the Q, there's a lot of really nice facilities. I know playing in Quebec against the Remparts this season, they played out in a sold-out rink. They had 19,000 people watching, and that was really, really cool. And also in Halifax too, they have a good fan base and a really nice rink. So you walk out on the ice and you just get goosebumps, like you said. So it's really fun. And
what is your favorite canteen food at the rink?
At the rink, well, at our local rink, we have the best rink burgers available, so I have to go with that.
And what is your pregame meal? And hopefully, it's not the same answer.
Well, no, definitely not the same answer. I usually eat a lot of chicken and rice, probably about 3 to 4 hours before the game. Always have a pregame nap in there too, so it's really important. Try not to eat too much before the game. I won't have an upset stomach, and usually after the game I eat more than before. So.
And along the same lines, like of a pregame meal, like what's your pregame routine look like as a goaltender there in the queue?
Yeah, usually we have, especially if we're on the road or something, we'll have a morning skate. Even at home, we usually have a morning skate too, so we're up early, and it's a good way to get loose. We're usually on the ice for about 30 to 40 minutes. After that, I'll usually come home, make something to eat, and like I said, have a pregame nap. A lot of mental preparation goes into that, especially since the games are usually at 7 or 7:30. You have the whole day to think about the game. Like I said, pregame meal 3 to 4 hours before the game, and then head to the rink 2.5 hours before, and a lot of off-ice hand-eye coordination, stretching, stuff like that, and then ready to go.
And lastly, to end this interview, I mean, there's obviously, like I said, a lot of goaltenders, a lot of players out there that aren't sure what to do during this whole shutdown. They're used to being on the ice, same as you. Would you maybe have any specific advice for them to sort of get through this next month or two away from the ice to kind of work on their skills or improve themselves as hockey players?
Yeah, for sure. No, I think especially in times like these, I think it's really easy to make excuses, to say, I don't have a home gym or I don't have access to any ice. Well, I think like I said, you have to get out of your comfort zone and you have to adjust and you have to make ways to make things work. So I just think, especially, if you're not seeing your friends, then you have to look at things from another side. Then, that's more time to work on my school or, to work on, my shot or my passing or, whatever it is. I think there's always room to get better and just definitely not making excuses. That's the biggest thing.
Right on, and we appreciate your time. It's awesome to get your insight and your feedback, and lots of information for goalies, for players out there during this whole shutdown. So we appreciate it, and we wish you guys all the best moving forward in the next couple of years or the next couple of seasons. Best on the ice. So thank you very much for your time, and good luck during this whole shutdown.
Yeah, thanks a lot. It's a pleasure.